Hey, welcome to the continuing. No, wait, hold on. Welcome to. This is February Wines. Why are you so behind?
February. And what a behind it is! All right, the classic series of the Wine of the Month Club. I'm here with the supposed leader of our generation here.
It's a whole new thing of things. I got all kinds of new sounds. For
Oh,
you.
that's great. You know, I was just hoping that you'd finally change those, but I didn't think it'd get worse.
No.
And there you have it.
So you heard the news?
Yeah.
We're starting a podcast, official podcast, twice a week. You and I are going to record the first one today, actually, or at least test it out. And the podcasts are going to be on Tuesday. We're going to release the audio of all these interviews that we've done here at the Wine of the Month Club with these fancy and well-known winemakers. And then Thursday is going to be wine subjects. So we'll talk about stuff. We'll have Peter Coffin here. We'll have Patrick Farrell in here. Elizabeth Schweitzer, Master of Wine, in here. Well, she's Master of Song. But just having some fun conversation about it. Not trying to demystify it, just trying to really expose it, some of its business. And we're going to talk today about business. Because I'm tired of seeing this crap on the marketplace.
How do you really feel?
Being sold as legit stuff, €1 wines, which is $1.15, $13 today, and bottling it. And there's things like Saturday Night Live. Why would you buy a Saturday Night? Well, I guess I'm insulting anybody that bought some, but it was bad for one, and two, what's the point? But we'll talk about that later.
I tried to sign on to Naked Wines, and I got so upended on their website, I gave up, and I sent them a nasty email. I said, God, if your wines are as bad as your website, I wouldn't want them anyway.
Anyway, so we're here, though, to discuss. This is the beginning of all our videos for today. We're going to use this footage as sort of the preamble, but we were talking about 40 years ago, so that'd be 79.
1979,
1979.
buddy. Yeah.
So I'm now at SC. I've retired, so to speak, from the wine shop. But what was my dad featuring?
Actually, fabulous wine, Wente Petit Syrah, which was just a phenomenal bottle of wine. And Oppenheimer, and I can't remember the second name, I couldn't even pronounce it. German Riesling from the Rheinhessen. That was $3.49 a fifth.
$3.49 a fifth.
Yeah,
Now here's what's funny about the Wente Petit Syrah. One day, so being this is 1979, so right around when I'm at home, my friends' parents were on vacation. We decided to go to their house, my other buddies, and we turned on their jacuzzi and we flooded the whole thing out. We broke into their house. We hung around and watched TV, and of course, when they got home, they realized that my friends, us, had invaded the home, and as a thank you, as a punishment, as an apology, I took him a bottle of Wente Petit Syrah. Well, that was
damn nice.
It was great.
Well, it was really interesting because underneath that, your dad listed a bunch of Rieslings that he had in the store, and most of them were Bernkasseler Doctor. Do you know what the price of Bernkasseler Doctor was in 1979?
I do not remember.
$49 a bottle.
What?
Yes, exactly. I'm going, wow, man, that stuff was really expensive then.
It's really expensive.
I mean, $49 a bottle. I mean, when you're selling the other stuff for $3.49, he was selling Second Growth Bordeaux for $6. $6.99. I was pretty shocked. But again, those wines they were and still are in demand, and they just don't make that much of it,
Huh.
So anyway,
because I just bought we went to Trinchero over when we were in Napa, and I bought their best stuff, and I wasn't even paying that.
Oh God, no, no! I remember.
This is today.
I remember going to Sutter Home in 1973, and stuff was $1.99.
That's the other thing we're working on. I'm trying to get, and you'll be involved with this. I was going to write a book or have a book written, but I'm finding that the ghostwriting business is sort of a sham. Not that it is, but it just feels like it. And I want to get an investigative journalist who knows how to ask the right questions to peel back Dad's career and all the stories that you and my father have regarding the growth of California wine during the period of the store. Because it seemed to be an integral part of the Southern California wine scene, as well as the idea that, that's when everything was happening, right?
To a degree, you're absolutely right. I mean, I remember looking up the first time I tried to find out, maybe 1976 or 75, there were 260 wineries in California, and now there's 4,000.
Yeah. Right. All right, we'll see you guys on the classic series next. How about that?
Let's hope so.
Well, sir. Last time I saw Ed was at the Trebecchieri wine tasting. Now, here's an interesting thing. Welcome to the classic series for February 2019. And I was there recording videos and interviewing winemakers, and you were there getting a grasp of the Trebecchieri thing.
Yeah.
But I had an interesting conversation with the producer, that tall woman that walked around, and Mark Newman as well. They start out with 45,000 wines at the beginning of the year.
Who did?
Trebecchieri, the Gambero Rosso, which is the
really?
trade
Oh,
card.
God, I had no idea.
They start with 45,000 wines, and they blind taste them, not by blind absolutely, it's by region. So
Right.
here's all the Umbrian,
Right.
here's all the Tuscan.
Yeah,
right?
I knew that.
And they get it down to 4,000, and then they do one more thing, and then they get down to 1,000.
Right.
And there's 5 people go to Rome, and they take that 4,000 and they get down to about half, 400, 450. And
About
those
10%.
are the Trebecchieris, okay?
Yeah, well, but
So
those
it's 1% of the original.
The wines are amazing. I mean, that
They were
is
amazing.
truly the best way to judge wine is through a Gambero Rosso, because there wasn't one wine here you go, yeah, this is okay. You go,
No.
this is great,
Yeah.
and this is greater.
From things like the winemaker that was here, Massimo, who's resurrecting ancient whites that are amazing character. They're finding these gnarly, thick vines on the top of
Yeah.
a hill somewhere, find the DNA, and they're bringing them back. To very young, interesting wines, young winemakers. But the most interesting part of the whole thing is that every winemaker I interview, which is about 6 of them, they were 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th generation, maybe even more. And almost all of them had not planned on being in the business with their parents. They had
That's interesting.
One had been to med school, one had been to a lawyer, had gone to law school, and they all said, "No, I think we're going to stick around." Well, that was really interesting. But so Trebecchieri, 3 glasses, trois verres, in French, trois copas in Spanish. It's the highest level of rating that you can get from this organization, which I think is a kind of a good idea. We ought to do something like that instead of the score. 3 stones, 3 rocks,
corks,
3
right?
freeways, 3.
3 ways.
Wait a minute, smog alert level 3. That's a great idea. Smog alert level 3. Anyway,
Nobody knows what that means, including me. So it might be hard to do the rating.
we got a great lineup today, all the way around. And I thought we'd already tasted these because I've already tasted them. I've already poured them at our monthly tasting. But starting with this Twisted Paso, which I don't know how I ended up getting this wine at this price, but it's amazing. $18.99 on the shelf. You get more for $8.99.
That's a killer price.
Pure Paso Cab. I mean,
Well,
it's just-
talk about how the wine business has evolved. My first real wine job, I'm not counting when I worked at the store for his dad and other stores for fun, because that's really what it was for, was a winery in Paso Robles called HMR in 1982. And we had the first Paso Robles Wine Festival. There were 17 wineries there, period, the end. Now there's 400,
Wow.
And,
17?
Yeah, 17 wineries in Paso, period. That's it.
Well, this couldn't be more classic Paso. It's got all the dark fruit, all the berries. It's got a spice component.
Well, it is and it isn't, Paul. The thing is about this wine, back then, they still hadn't learned how to deal with that impressive heat they get during the day. This is tight. It's got a great finish. It's got good acidity. It's got very firm
Yeah, it's not that
tannins.
opulent Paso.
No, it's not.
It's pretty lean that way.
Well, it's got fruit, though. I mean,
But the fruit character's Paso.
fruit's beautiful. See,
So-
the problem is I don't know that I would know that this came from Paso now. I'd say, gee, this could have come from Sonoma. This could have even come from Napa. Because you're getting soil components now. You're getting a little licorice. You're getting some rocks. You're getting some nice, dark,
For
fresh
sure, licorice.
earth.
For sure. Yesterday I had a very interesting tasting with a brand that had 2 Pinots, one from the same vintage, one from Napa and one from Santa Lucia Highlands. And I hadn't really focused on the difference between a Pinot Noir from Napa, which is such a different animal than the Central Coast and the rest
Well,
of them. I mean,
yeah.
completely different wine.
Right.
And it was fascinating to have them next to each other from the same person.
So
So I think this is extraordinary.
This is a
value.
98 for me. I'm
98
telling
for
you.
what it's-
I mean,
the
for
price.
$8.99,
I don't know. I can't remember the deal. Why they brought it to me that I was able to get such a great price on it. But
are you going to look a gift wine in the mouth?
no. And here's
Okay.
another one. This is look at this.
This is
Pinot
killer.
Gris from Marlborough. What's that? The south side of the North Island. Look at that color. Is that classic?
The south side of the North Island, right? As opposed to the north side of the South Island,
Right.
which is
Marlborough.
Yeah.
I just fascinating, and I love Pinot Gris from Pinot Grigio, or what Pinot Gris we call it, from New Zealand anyway. But look at the color and the substance of this wine.
These wines, I mean, for all the lip service that New Zealand gets for Sauvignon Blanc, my favorite wines that we have ever featured in this club have been Pinot Gris from New Zealand. Absolutely unbelievable.
It's got, I like it because it's not that fruit bomb that you get from Venezia.
No.
It's got a lot of structure. I mean,
It's got a beautiful citrus edge to it. It's almost lemon and lime and grapefruit. It's all of them put together. That is really a killer bottle of wine.
and this came to us from one of my favorite brokers who sources from all over, and she's moved up north, like Oregon. And how she got a hold of this, I don't know, but I love it when she sends me stuff. Cause
It's $19.99 on the shelf, $7.99 reorder price, and I'm at a 98 again. I mean, that wine is absolutely stunning.
But you are liberal today. I'll go with that, though, Ed.
Oh my goodness!
I'll go with that today, Ed.
Oh, trying to stay awake, and I'm having a hard time.
All right, now.
All right, now,
Perennial favorite around here.
Bull's Head.
And the way this wine got to us is bizarre, but it got to us, and it ended up coming from New Jersey, but it was made in Santa Rosa.
Oh,
by one of our.
they didn't grow the grapes in New Jersey?
No, so, and every time I feature a wine like this, people go nuts over it. It does a big hit at the tasting. Now, I have had, and I hate to say this, I'm not going to mention the name just because he's a friend of mine, but I've had bourbon barrel aged wines that are undrinkable, right? Because I suppose they think they're going to start with crap red wine, put it in a bourbon barrel, it's going to make it better.
Duh. Yeah.
Right?
Well, that sounds about right for the wine.
That's not what's
business.
happened here. And this thing is just vanilla. And
It's definitely vanilla. But it's interesting because it's vanilla, but it's like really good Mexican vanilla. It's not the really cheap stuff that you get in the store. I don't know how else to put it.
I guess a pretty interesting observation because it is refined vanilla
Yeah,
character.
it is. It's very refined vanilla.
But you're still getting the oak, which is interesting. Because what they do, folks, and it's such an opulent or such an impressive part of the aging as far as character is concerned, because it's only aged for 3 months. Because any more than that, you'd be tasting bourbon, right?
Well, I would think so. I mean,
So it really imparts a lot of character.
well, it's also American oak, and
That's true.
American oak is wider grain, so any liquid that goes in it is going to seep deeper into the staves and extract more oak flavor. Now, there's got to be some bourbon in there. Come on.
The minimum bourbon can be in barrel is 2 years, so it's got 2 years of age.
Right, so there's going to be some residual bourbon in there. I don't really get that, but that could have something to do with that vanilla component.
But I've heard of residual sugar, residual bourbon.
Yeah, residual bourbon.
But it's it's soft. It's got you get the wine character, you get the dark fruit, you get the berries, but you don't. And then you get this wonderful component that's coming from the age, and it's a huge seller always.
I rolled my eyes when I saw this. This is kind of a little bit of a craze, the aging in bourbon barrels, and I went, oh come on, not something else to goof off with. But yeah, I have to say, the wine is really good. It's delicious.
People love it, and I can tell you the one I had that a friend of mine made from Paso, and he sells it in one of the little hook bottles, little squad.
Oh yeah.
It's like $40 for it, and it literally is undrinkable.
Oh well, that's always fun. Well, I'm at a 97 with that one. By the
I'll
way.
go 97.
Okay. Our old buddies at O'Neill Wine and Spirits. We're so fortunate they sell us their leftovers.
Well, they're not always leftovers. This is their brand.
The Wine of the Month Club, to most people that call on them, is a big account. I mean, they're a seriously big account. They want to sell Paul because he buys a lot of wine, he pays his bill. All right. O'Neill could care less. I mean, they really could. They make almost 800,000 cases a year of wine. So we buy 1,000 cases from them. That's like a half a day's worth of wine. They could care less.
I guess that in that regard, you're probably right. But they're such fine winemakers. They do such a great job.
That's the point. I mean, these guys are. I can't believe
and
how
I think
good
this
their
is
wines
one of
are.
their brands, their own brand.
Yeah, I believe so.
And so this is citrus, green apples.
The thing that's interesting about this wine is, on first sip, I get a bunch of oak. I get a lot of that toothpick vanilla, character, and then little by little it goes away, and then you taste it and you go, "Is there any oak in here?"
Yeah, it's all up front. You're right.
But
It's all up front, then it turns into lime juice and all kinds of green apples. It's really fun.
oh boy, this is a great
almost
food
has
wine.
that Jolly Rancher tail end to it. Green apple.
A Jolly Rancher.
The candy, the green candy.
No, but I'm.
What?
What do I
I'm
know
sorry,
from-
folks. He doesn't know what a Jolly Rancher apple candy
Hey, I
is.
lost 30 pounds. I don't know from candy. Okay.
Not trying to be anything else but a nice simple Chardonnay that comes right at you with the fruit.
But I love the finish in this wine, and this
It's
is
lean.
in Chardonnay. You never think of it having with oysters because it doesn't have the
Yeah, right,
acidity.
you're right.
This
This
could,
has the acidity.
This could do that.
You're right.
So I have a 97 on that too. I
Cream
like that
sauce,
one.
Alfredo kind of thing.
Anything.
Anything. How about no? Hey, that's the classic series for February of 2019. Great lineup, folks. Everything's in stock. Have at it. Cheers.